Hi guys! We are back! I'm so excited! I was really bummed out about last week, but technical difficulties. We are still under construction, but I'll spare you the behind the scenes with that. Alright, so I'm just shuffling your cards here. As always, we are starting with a theme of the week, and then Gemini, because we're in Gemini season, and circling through the full zodiac. Alrighty, let's see what we got. Okay, theme of the week is justice. Ooh, this is heavy. This feels like it has a lot to do with the political climate and what's going on in the country right now. I'm seeing like themes that are connected with patriotism and pride for a country. So it's as if, you know, the passion is running very high right now, and people are working from their passion. That's what everything is being stemmed from right now. And it's like, I love my land and my country and where I live so much that I want it to be the best. Like, it's got to be number one. We can't settle or stand for injustices. So it's all about like bringing things to the forefront. It's not justice in a particular situation. It's not revenge. It's not someone getting their due diligence specifically and particularly. It's the collective. It's the whole. It's everyone and everything. Like every situation that anyone's ever been made to feel uncomfortable, or anyone's ever been in danger, or anyone's ever felt a certain way, or whoever it is, does not matter your ethnicity, your gender, your anything, whatever it is, this is all encompassing. So this week it's intense because it's fueled by all of these feelings, and everyone's going to have their own specific feeling about this, and they're going to be very extremely passionate about it because of their experiences and because of experiences they've seen other people go through and that they feel strongly about. So this week has a lot of that, like political undertones. I'm really seeing a lot of that, which makes sense right now. And it's a lot about balancing these things out. So with all the things going on, where do we find the balance in our lives? How do we find, like, this is in the middle of, you know, things are just starting to open up with coronavirus, and I'm speaking as far as the US goes. Whatever the situation is where you're from, could be a little bit different, but as far as here, you know, things are just starting to open up, and then boom, like another thing hits, and it's kind of like seeking solace in times of crisis. Where can you find a safe space, a safe haven? Maybe that's just turning off the news after a certain hour. Maybe that's just sitting down, taking time out of your day to have a moment where you're like, okay, this is my space. Being present, being where you are and paying attention, kind of like grounding yourself. It's very important that we do that so you don't get caught up in the tizzy and all the craziness that's going on. You need to find balance so you can make smart decisions, so you can make informed decisions, so you can stay rational and balance your rational mind and your emotional heart. Okay? Very, very important this week. Balance. All right, guys? So that's the theme of the week, justice. Gemini. 6 of Wands. There's something that you feel very right about. You are 100% sure of this. You have no doubts in your mind. And you are, it's like you're leading the pack. You're ready to lead people, not into battle, but kind of like you're just it's kind of like just crowdsourcing, gathering the troops, like just to get on your side and believe whatever you have to say or whatever it is that you're doing, you're trying to gain support. So it's all about gaining support for you this week, Gemini. And you know what? Not everyone's gonna believe you. Some people are gonna have their doubts, but that's okay. Not everybody does have to be on the Gemini train. Like, you don't have to do that. I mean, it just doesn't, it's just not necessary for you. You have to be mindful this week, Gemini, that whatever it is you're rallying for support about is that it's not coming from a place that's feeding your ego. So I'm not saying that. So I know ego kind of gets a bad rap, and everyone's like, oh, push away ego. Ego is bad. It's not bad. It's here for a reason. It's here for survival purposes. Like, we have ego for a reason. So it's not bad, but we do have to watch ourselves and be careful, because ego can get in the way too. So you don't want, it can be dangerous if you're using it wrong, if things are stemming from a place of like the validation of people getting on your train is gonna fill you up, rather than whatever it is that you're preaching that you actually believe in, or whatever it is you're putting out there. You want to actually be believing in that yourself, not just doing it because you know that you can get people behind you on it. So it's really important that you do that, because power is dangerous. With great power comes great responsibility. So you want to just make sure you're coming from a really genuine place. Maybe even like stop for a second and ask yourself, like, wait, because a lot of times you don't even realize it. You do things like that for, you do something for the likes, or you do something like, and it feels good. You're like, oh yay, like 100 people like this, like awesome. Or maybe that's not enough, maybe you need 1,000 people like it, and you're just like, ooh, like it does feel good. I get it. Like, you can't fault anyone for that, but that shouldn't be the core of whatever it is that you are kind of not progressing, I guess, right now. Anything that you want to move forward, or anything that you're pushing on people or presenting to people, you just want to be mindful, extra mindful. Yeah, and that's where I'm seeing those people that are a little bit like, I'm not sure about Gemini. Like, that's what they're looking for. They're like, I think this is a load of cracker shit. Like, this is BS. Gemini just wants attention. Like, that's what those people are looking at. It's not that they don't believe in, like, whatever it is that you're saying. I mean, maybe they don't. But it's more so that they think that you're doing these things for the wrong reasons. They think you're saying things for the wrong reasons. It's just like, oh, you're just saying what people want to hear. Or you're just kind of, you want people to look at you a certain way or think a certain thing about you, but that's not really who you are. Like, it's all about the ingenuity, or ingenuity. They don't believe it. So, all right, Gemini, that's for you. 7 of Wands. Cancer, Judgment. But the time has come for something. Someone has given up, or maybe you've given up. And it's not so much giving up and walking away, it's giving up and giving in. So this can be vice versa. This could be you, this could be someone else. And all of these readings are like that, where maybe the situation is flipped and you're the other person in the situation, and they're kind of like, more resonating with what I'm reading for you. So that can always be the case. Keep that in mind for the future. But yeah, so someone is giving up and giving in, and it's kind of like, I'm seeing like a confession of some sort, or, someone saying, oh my God, I've always really liked you, I've had a crush on you forever, or like, it could be something like that. It doesn't have to be bad. or negative. But for some of you, it will be something, it will be somewhat of a surprise. I'm hearing like not a complete surprise, and you had maybe an inkling about this, or they maybe had an inkling of this before, but it's still a little bit out of the blue, right? You're just kind of like, oh, whoa, what? Okay. And it's going to take you a moment to know how to react or how to respond. So take your time with that response. You don't need to do it right away. But whatever your response is, or however you feel about it, it will bring this chapter to a close. That has happened. Whatever has happened up until this point is going to wrap things up, and you'll be starting anew. So whether that is starting a new beginning with this person in some way, or whether that's kind of like wrapping it up and it's like, you know what, I think this is where we part ways, or whatever it is, whatever the situation is, close off. Maybe you decide, you know what, this apartment's not working for me, I'm gonna go. Or or like they're saying, oh, I have to do construction, kind of like this, and you're like, you know what, I was gonna stick it out, but I'm just not sure if I could do it. Or, you know what, opposite. It could be whatever the situation is for you guys in your lives. Yeah, this isn't something small either. It's kind of a big deal. And it's gonna feel like a big deal for you and whoever this involves. For some of you, it's multiple people are involved in this in some way. And they may just be in the background, or they may just kind of not play as big of a part as you and one other person do, or maybe two other people, but there's others that are kind of involved somehow. Maybe they're the ones telling you, oh, say this or say it like that, kind of like helping you, helping you put the text together or the email together, and you're like, does this sound good? Does this sound right? What do you think of this? Or it's on the other side where they're asking for advice from the other person, like, hey, you think I should reach out to this person? Like, I don't know, I'm not really sure. And they're kind of like, yeah, do it. Or like, just leave it, but they're going to do it anyway. It's the time. It is time right now. And there is some type of, so I am not an official astrologist, which I tell everyone all the time, although they always no one believes me. But I have astrology knowledge, but I'm not an astrologist per se. Like, I have other areas of expertise. Tarot is one of them. And, that's the stuff that I know inside and out type of thing. I mean, there's always more to know, but that's like my number one, right? And astrology, I study, but it is not, I am by far an astrologist. It feels like there is some type of planetary divine timing going on. And a lot of times I find that when I read the cards, they align with whatever is happening in the planets and astrology that I didn't even know about, and I'll read about it that week and be like, wow. So right now I'm feeling and seeing that there's something going on, divine timing of some sort. So there's like some planetary things happening, and that is all coming into play with this, and this is why it's happening now. Like, this is a divine timing thing. This is a divine timing situation and moment. There's a reason that it's happening now, and it didn't happen back then, and it's not happening later. This is important, regardless of its outcome, whatever you do with it. But there's something big waiting for you this week, and something exciting to a degree, exciting. I don't know why sensual came up. Maybe that applies to some of you out there. But yeah, it almost kind of brings out the child in you. There's something about it that brings out the child in you, or kind of like brings you out into the open, or brings something out into the open that was hidden for a very long time. All right, Cancer. Ooh. Very exciting. Judgment. Leo, King of Pentacles. Leo, you want that fruit. You want to make that money. You want to make that money, honey. You are just you are super hyper focused on material earthly things right now. I just see you like really wanting it. Like you really are focused. You feel like it's a necessity. You're like, I need to be making at least this much money. I need to have these things. I need, like, it's feeling like a need. It's not a want. It's not a passion, even. Like, yeah, there's passion for it, but it's not like you're just wanting things just because you want to show them off or because you want to have things. You're wanting because it feels like a need, because it feels like security and stability. You want this security and stability, and it's coming out as a need. It's kind of a by any means necessary. You must acquire security now. I do feel that you have something that is bringing you that, but it's just not working fast enough. You want it now, like Veruca. I want it now, Daddy. And cue the song. But yeah, you're just not gonna feel okay until you have something in your hands, something tangible. And the thing is, if you're not getting it, it's because you're blocking yourself. You're blocking yourself in some way. It's like you're locking yourselves away somewhere, in your home, in something, and you need to get out. And I'm not saying that you need to be out physically in the world, like networking and meeting people. You need to expose yourself. You need to branch out in some way, because you're staying too protective. Because you're kind of you're shrinking yourself down, because you're feeling insecure, because it's almost like, there's a predator out there and you're an animal and you're like, I don't have the right armor. Like, if I go out, what's going to happen? If I branch out, if I reach out, that thing could get me. I don't have security. You don't have your mama, your mama deer next to you, or whatever it is. You feel like you need that security to really be able to expand, or to show yourself, and to be proud of showing yourself. A lot of it is kind of a prideful thing, but not mostly. I mean, it's an element, but you do need to expose yourself in some way a little bit more, whether that's just telling people what you're doing on Instagram, like, hey, like, I started working on this thing and it's really cool, like, ask me more about it if you're interested, whatever the case may be. Or just reaching out online, like maybe it's putting out job applications, could be as simple as that. But for some of you, it's also just like, kind of, if you've been stuck in your hometown, or if you're kind of stuck in one neighborhood, you need to don't just look for things that are super safe and local. You need to go outside of what you know. Go outside of your safety bubble. Get out of the bubble. However you can do that right now. So that's going to be the key for you in terms of making that security happen, making that financial stability start to manifest. All right, Leo? There you go. King of Pentacles. Virgo, the Fool. I'm seeing that there's some of you that might have to, like, be going back to work, into the office or something, and leaving your dog. And you kind of were like, you're really excited to go, maybe just to, because now, yeah, you're getting out of the house and you're getting back into routine and all of these things. But at the same time, it's like your dog's like, where are we going? And you're like, we're not going anywhere. Bye, Scruffy. Boom, like door closed. Just seeing that for some of you, and it's like you would normally feel bad leaving your dog, but you just don't right now. So that's kind of the thing with that. And a lot of you are maybe starting something new. Like this seems like you're on easy street in some way. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna, what is it? Something that was normally hard for you or normally difficult or in some way strenuous now seems like a walk in the park. It seems like, or you're not as worried about it. It's kind of like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna have fun with this. I'm not gonna take it so seriously. I'm just going to put it out there, let the wind blow me where it does, and here I go. And that's it. So I'm just seeing like a very carefree kind of, for some of you it's a little bit naive, like you just want, you're convincing yourself that you're allowed to not care when you know you should. Or maybe you don't know you should, but you're convincing yourself that it's cool. No, I don't need to care about this anymore. Another dog reference. I don't know why like the dog keeps popping out and coming up, but it's like some of you are used to now leaving your house all the time with little like doggy treats because the only time you leave is probably like to walk your dog, and now you're like at the office or something, you keep finding them in your pocket, or like you brought the little baggy treats. Which is kind of funny. So that's just a little tidbit, a little fun fact there. Yeah, I just, you're so excited to like smell the flowers, and it's almost as if you have a new appreciation for being outside or having some place to go, or like the journey of getting from your house to the office. It's like, wow, I never noticed that building before, and this tree is gorgeous, and I look at these license plates, there's so many different states, like look at that one, it says too cool for you. Like just things like that. It's just a lot of like, ooh, whimsy. All right, Virgo. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. The pool. Next one is Libra, Page of Swords. Libra, you're really hesitating over something. It's like you really want to go for it, but you're really nervous to do it. You're like, I just don't, should I be doing this right now? I just really don't know. I think I should do it. It's like you're slowly moving. You're like, maybe should I kind of, I don't know. And then you're not really doing anything. Like you're going so slow in the motion that you're not actually doing anything. You're just thinking. You're overthinking. You've overthought it to death already, and then you decide, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And then you went to do it, and then you did it. And then you're like, it's like you're frozen right there, right? You're like, whatever it was you're gonna do, I'm just making the Page of Swords stance like that. Like he's about to do it, but he's not. It's all you need to do is do it. You're right there, Libra. If this is something that you want to do, that you've decided that you're going to do because it's given you so much strife, like going back and forth trying to figure it out, or like you've been upset about it, or it's been bothering you, like just do it, because it's better than being in limbo and suffering, like overthinking. Just go for it. You don't have to, but that would be my best advice for you. And just like rip it off like a band-aid. You're right there. You're so close. You're like, you have like the tip of the band-aid right now, and all you gotta do is go burp. You got a little bit. You just gotta do the rest. You're so close. And it will be kind of a release if you do. It's like you're gonna get something off your chest. You're going to get something out of it. I don't know what it is because very situational, but you're going to get something out of it, and it will be very useful to you. You're going to see this in a different, not in a different light, but you'll have more information than you did before. So it's going to put it kind of into a certain perspective. You're gonna have more perspective about it than you did when you were just overthinking, wondering like, maybe this, maybe that, what if this, what if that, should I, shouldn't I, all those questions. Maybe not all of them will be answered for you. Maybe for some of you, yes, they will, but you'll have more information than when you started, when you were sitting up at night going crazy and having nightmares and daydreams and freaking out, or grabbing the phone, starting to text, and then delete. Now you can just send and go, that's it, did it, I did it, whatever happens now. Just do it, Libra. This is not sponsored by Nike, officially. Page of Swords. Scorpio. 3 of Cups. You're hiding something, Scorpio. What are you hiding? You're hiding something. You're acting like everything's great and dandy, but you're hiding something. There's something going on. I'm Why are you being so difficult this week, Scorpio? I'm having a hard time with you. All I know is you're hiding something. How are you hiding this well that I can't even read your weekly Tarotscope? How are you doing this? You don't want me to know. It's not like you hiding away from the world like the hermit or anything. You're not showing your face. You're specifically hiding something from a few people. For some of you, it's like you're just being stubborn. You're just being, you want someone to pry it out of you because you want to feel like they care enough to do it. So you want them to, you want to be found out in a way. This is for some of you, not all of you. For some of you, you want to kind of be found out in a way, but it's like you want someone, you want to know that someone or some people know you well enough to see through you. You want people to be psychic. You want people to know, to be able to look at you and be like, what's up? Like, what's going on? And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, nothing. Why would you even say that? And then if they give up, you'll be like, psh, they don't care about me. They don't even care. They're not even going to ask me. Like, they're not even going to try to figure it out. You want them to keep trying and trying and trying, no matter how much you're like, no. We're like, no, fine, great, everything's good. Yeah, so that's for some of you for sure, 100%. You want that persistence. You want someone to keep asking to really try to extract it, because that then you feel like they really, you feel like they're not just asking out of courtesy. That's really what it is. It's not so much like, oh, I just like that, you to chase me. I mean, a little bit, but you just want to know that it's genuine. You want to know that they're not just asking you as like, oh, are you okay? Okay, whatever, like, but don't really care. Like, you want to know that they genuinely want to know, they're concerned about your well-being. It's genuine, genuine, genuine. That's been kind of a theme in a few of people's today, a few signs. Being genuine has been a big theme. For others, it's like you're hiding something from people because you don't want them to have it. Like, you got your favorite candy and you're hiding it in the back of the cabinet because you don't want anyone to eat it. Like, you just don't want anyone else to know because it's all for you. Nothing crazy. I mean, maybe it is in your situation. It doesn't seem like it stems from anything really, like you're trying to get away with like you're trying to be really sneaky or trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes for a really, dark reason. There is a sense of purity in this. So even if it is a bad situation, it's like you're hiding something from someone, maybe because you're afraid to hurt their feelings, or maybe because you know this is going to bother them in some way and you just don't want to see them in pain, something like that. Like, there's a sense of purity here in your intention. The hiding, again, it could be like the little chocolate in the back of the cabinet. Like, that's not really, you're not really hurting anybody. So it's like there is a purity here in your intent, but you're definitely hiding something, and there's layers to it. Like, there's a few, like, it goes deeper than just like, I bought this candy I like and I hid it. It's like, well, every time I buy this, like, I get to the refrigerator and it's gone and I don't want to deal with that anymore. So I put like, so you bought like a decoy candy that you don't care about and put it out and you left that one in the back. Like, there's layers to this. This is not just like straightforward, simple. There are layers to this. Scorpio, you crack me up. Okay, 3 of Cups. Sagittarius, 10 of Cups. Oh, 10 of Cups. I'm hearing that song by Sister Sledge. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. The song sounds better than I do. But yeah, it's like, maybe for some of you there's a little reunion, but it's not so much a reunion as the feeling of oneness. It's unison, it's being united, it's oneness, it's this feeling of we're in this together. And this is just, this is applicable. I'm seeing like a lot of different situations for you guys this week in terms of this. This can be political. This can be your actual family. This can be your friends. Can be, just a ton of different things I'm seeing for you. There's just so many different aspects here, so many different ones, that it's impossible for me to acknowledge all of them. So, blanket, this is a unison. This is unifying. This is coming together, banding together for one thing, whether it's like you're throwing a birthday party or whether you're going to a political rally or whatever it is, or you're going to have a picnic and everyone's bringing a different item and you're coming together to band as one. All right. But it's all very beautiful. It's very heartfelt. There's so much heart here. There's so much warmth. There's so much like love. It's rooted and based in love. Whatever this situation is for you, it's rooted in this like deep, deep well of betterment. betterment for yourself, betterment for your brothers, betterment for your sisters, betterment for your friends and family, everyone. It's just betterment in general. So whether it's like coming together to have an intervention for somebody, maybe. I'm hearing that for somebody out there. This is stemming from love. And there's no fear. This is based from love, not fear, and don't mistake those two. Don't interrupt one for the other. Don't turn this into something that's based out of fear. Keep it stemming and based from love. Don't get nervous. Don't get cold feet. Don't change your attitude. I'm hearing for a lot of you. Keep this positive. Keep this a positive idea, experience, whatever. All right, Sag. 10 of Cups. Capricorn, 5 of Pentacles. Next song that came up, I think it's called Outside by Stained. That's an old one, too. I mean, I guess not as old as Sister Sledge, but... yeah, it's all about you feel very much on the outside. You want to get in. You want to get in. You know, that line that goes, every time I think I'm out, they bring me back in. They reel me back in. I know I chop these things up terribly. But you guys get the idea, okay? Put up with my antics. I'm sorry. That's kind of you. It's like I'm out and I think I'm okay, and then but I just want to be in. Like you either like you want to be in with someone or a group or an organization or a group of people. There's it's like you feel like you're on your own, but you're not really on your own. You just are putting yourself in that category, Capricorn. You're not on your own. You do have support. You can reach out to whoever this is and they'd be like, great, like miss you, love you, awesome, you know, let's chat or let's like Zoom dinner, you know, Zoom happy hour. Like you're not alone. You just are perceiving it that way. You're kind of keeping yourself on the outside because you're scared, period. You're scared, and you're keeping yourself there because you're protecting yourself, or you think you are, but the reality is you're putting yourself in the way of harm that you're scared of. You're putting yourself in this situation that you don't want to be in, and you feel like that's just where you are, but you're walking that path willingly, Capricorn. Why? What are you doing? Get out. Get in, rather. You don't have to be there. You don't. You're making this choice right now. This is very willing. Although you might want to argue with me right now and be yelling at the video, saying, oh, what? No. But all you have to do is make a little noise. All you have to do is seek some attention, or give some attention, rather. Yes, yes, give, and you will receive back. And it will be a lot easier than you think. You just need to put in some effort, Capricorn. There needs to be some effort made that you're not making because you're expecting too much of what was, I'm hearing like something that was already freely given that you kind of took for granted, maybe. And now you're just like, oh, what happened? Now it's your turn to put in more effort. Well, you're going to have to do a little better than a little bit. You're gonna have to do a little extra, but it's not gonna be that hard. You just have to show it. Just show it. You're not showing it. Don't hide away. Don't shy away. Capricorn, 5 of Pentacles. Aquarius, 8 of Cups. You're ready to get to a better place. And the path there is not that hard. You've done most of the work. You've done majority. And where you were was good, but it wasn't great. And now it's time to pump it up just a little more. Step it up. And you don't need to do a whole lot. This is just like, take it by level. So think about it step by step rather than being like, oh my God, I have to get all the way over here and I'm over here. This is going to take forever. How am I going to get this done? And then you're overwhelming yourself by looking a little too far down the road. So look a little bit closer to home. You're like, okay, I've hiked this much and all I need to do is get to that rock. And then you get to that rock and you're like, actually, you know what? I could go a little more. I'm going to go to that rock. And then you get to that rock and you're like, actually, not that tired. Let's keep going. It's going to be, that's what you need to do. So you need to set your eye on something a little bit closer, something a little bit more achievable and realistic because it's close, because it's right there. So you're like, oh, great. Like, that's it. I could definitely do that. And then you do that, and then you're like, great, oh, I could, now all I have to do is this. Then you do that, and it progresses. That's what you need, how you need to start looking at things from this point forward. But you're already on your way. You just have to not psych yourself out, Aquarius. You're so close. You're doing really great. You're doing wonderful. You've already taken the first steps. First steps up. You're moving up. You're not moving down. You're not moving sideways. You're moving up. But don't think you're going to shoot straight to the top without some stops along the way. You need to refuel. You need to get some snacks. You need to, just like any trip that, or any journey that you've ever gone on, or anywhere you've ever been, like, you're going to have to stop, get some gas, re-energize, reboot, get some lunch, have some coffee, whatever, and then you continue on your journey. You keep going. All right, guys? Get excited. Be excited. Don't be freaked out. Don't be upset. Don't get don't push yoururself back because you're so close. It's like killing me. Like you're moving. You're in movement. You're right there. You're going towards it, and you're even like, I mean, you know it, but it's not even like you're putting the full 100% in yet. It's like you're being beamed there. You're being pulled in the right direction. So imagine what would happen if you just sprinkled in a little extra towards the close thing, not the super far thing. Don't think about that yet. Don't put yourself there. Just, this thing. And then you're like, oh, easy. Next. Then you get a little closer. Oh, before you know it, you're there. You're like, oh, how did I get here? Hold on. All right, enough of you, Aquarius. You get the idea. 8 of Cups. Pisces. Death. You've just shed a big part of yourself. You've left behind something, and you haven't looked back, and it's been nothing but positive for you. Don't look back. Don't turn around. Ace of Base. Keep going. Keep mulling forward. You left something back, and you've acknowledged it recently. If not, you're going to acknowledge it this week, or it's gonna come up in some way. Like, wow, how far I've come from this time, from this person, or from this mindset or from whatever it is. You've come a very long way. And it has not been an easy journey at all. It's not. But when is it really? It's not supposed to be easy. How are you going to learn if it's easy? How are you going to evolve if it's easy? You know, do you want to be the same person you were way back then? No. Otherwise, you wouldn't have changed anything. So this is amazing. You have to, and you need to take that and you really need to acknowledge it. That's what I'm hearing. It's like, this is important to acknowledge so that it gives you the incentive and the motivation and the inspiration to keep going with that, to keep moving in that direction, to keep going in that path, to keep change alive and not stay stagnant at any time in your life. Don't settle for stagnancy. Don't settle, period. You are great and you can only get greater. Right, Pisces? So keep that in mind. The next time you feel stuck, look at it as an opportunity. Where do I feel stuck, and how do I change that? Like what is going to push me forward? What is going to get me past this? Because I've gotten past worse. I've gotten past other things before. I could do it again. You can, Pisces. You can and you will. You could 100%. No doubt. No doubt. Why wouldn't you be able to? Consider the worst of things over, and the best of things are only to come. You haven't even experienced the best of your life or the happiest moments of your life yet, Pisces. And if you stop and just dwell on the past or keep looking back or don't move forward or don't make any changes ever, you're never going to experience those wonderful, wonderful things. So keep going. Keep going, Pisces. Death. Aries. 10 of Wands. Many aspects of your life have not been easy recently. So you're trying to keep it together. You're doing a good job though, Aries. You are doing a very good job trying to keep it together, and you don't want to seem like a quitter. You don't want to seem like someone who gives up or who is weak. And that's where a lot of your determination is coming from. Like, you just don't want to look weak. You don't want to look like a little whatever. You're like, I got this. I could do this. No problem. And you're doing it. You're getting there. But then where are you going to go once this time is over? Like, I feel like this is giving you a purpose almost in a weird way. Whatever's happening for you right now is giving you strength. So you go to the gym, you work out. The more you go, the stronger you get, right? It's like you're flexing your muscles. You're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's the same thing. You've had an issue with this, and then it progressed into this and progressed into that. And then you might have had an issue over here. And then you're like, okay, I have all these things going on. And like, it's making you stronger, or you're like, you feel strengthened by the idea that you can handle all this at the same time. You're like, I got it. I can handle this. And it's like, you're like getting off on like being Superwoman or Superman. Like, this is nothing for me. Like, I'm cool. I can handle it. Whatever life throws my way. And that's great. And that's awesome. But at the same time, once those things have sorted themselves out or you've overcome them, then what? not that you're going to feel empty, but there's going to be feel like something missing. Don't What I'm saying is don't get addicted to the adrenaline of problems. Don't get addicted to having the excitement of issues or um, having to solve something or having to push through something or feeling like something's not worth it unless it's difficult, because that's not true. Some things are more rewarding when they're difficult and take a long time, or um, you have to go through a process of some sort to get there. Like, let's say you're going to school, you go through all these classes, you take all these years going, and then you finally graduate and you're like, oh my god, it's so rewarding and so exciting because you've done so much work to get there. But in life, you don't measure, let's say for an example, a relationship, just because it's difficult and you feel like you've gotten through a lot of things in that relationship doesn't bring its value up necessarily. It doesn't mean that you should look for the next person you date, you should look for something to be working on or be fixing or be, some type of a problem that you can carry with you. And I'm not saying that you guys are fixers. That's not what I hear. I definitely don't hear you guys being fixers. It's more about I'm just hearing like an adrenaline addiction. It's just the excitement. It's just the like, same thing again with like working out. Just saying like building up your strength. When you go to the gym, adrenaline's going. You're pumping yourself up. You're like getting really hyped up. Like same thing. Like if you carry something, you move something, anything heavy, you're like right after you're like, woo, all right, like I did it. Yeah, I moved that couch all by myself. Yeah, it's like this sense of accomplishment. Don't get addicted to that in people and relationships and investment, anything where you have to invest yourself in. It could be a career path too. Like, don't only do it, or at least be mindful if that ends up being what you start looking for, because you probably don't even realize that. Guarantee you wouldn't realize that unless you stopped and thought about it for a second. Then you'd be like, oh, Ray J, oh, like ding ding. Yeah. All right, so that's for you guys this week. 10 of Wands, just watch out for that. I mean, kudos to you for handling everything though. But why put more on your plate than you have to? Why make your life harder than it has to be? You don't have to do that. It can still be exciting and fun, I promise you. Okay, Taurus. I'm sorry. Why would I say 10? 8 of Pentacles. I'm losing it, guys. 8 of Pentacles. So there's this French saying that goes, little by little, the bird makes its nest. Yeah. I'd say it in French, but I don't want to embarrass myself more than I normally do on these videos. Yeah, I'm seeing you rebuilding, Taurus, and you're working really hard to do it, and you're not planning on stopping. I mean, that is something you're known for, being very tenacious. You've already done a lot, and you have a lot of accomplishments under your belt, and yet you're still striving for more. You have a lot more goals that you want to achieve for the future, for yourself, for your family or your future family. and you're driven by passion. You're driven by an eagerness to succeed, to make those people proud of you that you love. But the passion that there is another passion that drives this, and it's separate from them. They play a big part. The ones you love play a very big part in everything you do, in everything you strive for. But you have this passion. And it's, in a way, it's odd. It's kind of the foundation, or what's holding up all of these other achievements or things that you've worked on or have done already or are working on. But you're not paying attention to that passion specifically and individually and by itself. It's just kind of holding up something else. It's supporting these other things. You don't need to abandon what you are working on or the other things that you're planning on working on or have done. I'm not saying to abandon that. You should definitely keep doing that. But do some side projects. Do some fun side projects that are fulfilling to you too. Because you need that too. Because all the main stuff is like, yeah, it's for you, but it's mainly for them. It's mainly for, whether it's like to make your mom feel better that you're secure. It's like, great, yeah, see, I have a great job and I have, my house and whatever, and like I'm financially stable, you don't have to worry about me. And your mom's like, oh, better. It's like, you're still like, yeah, it's for you, but you're doing it with a lot of intention of like making mom feel better, or being able to provide for someone, being able to help your friend out, like, anything like that, like providing security, or like to help a neighbor out, or whatever it is. Like, these are the main reasons that you're doing these bigger things or more important things. Well, I say more important loosely, but the things that seem more important and significant is mainly for other people. Yeah, you're in there, but it's, other people, the people that you love, are just number one. But you need to still do something for yourself. You need to feed yourself a little bit in another way. Have a little side project. Do something that makes you happy, or that you can be proud of, that isn't so life or death, or so serious, or so career driven. I mean, it can have something to do with your career if that's what you love, but it should be something that's, if it doesn't work, that you're gonna be like, oh well, it was still fun to do. Should be more like that. Because feeding yourself is gonna be the foundation. Like, you're gonna run out of steam if you don't feed yourself in this way. If you keep putting yourself out there, you're gonna have nothing left for yourself, and that's gonna start affecting you. Like, your foundation is gonna start crumbling. It's going to start loosening. You're gonna have to work on your foundation at some point. If you don't, you might as well start now. If you don't start now, or if you should have started 5 years ago, you're gonna be feeling it now, or you're gonna feel it soon. But yeah, just make sure you take time out for that. And those are things you can be proud of too. Those are things that your family and your loved ones can also be proud of. So don't be afraid to show that off. If you want to, you don't have to. You can keep it just for yourself. Journal, maybe. It can be very simple. Make something for yourself. Right, Taurus? Okay, 8 of Pentacles. And that is it for the week. I hope that was helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. I love doing these for you. I hope you're enjoying the Tarotscope LA website. If you have any questions, comments, please do not hesitate to comment below, like and subscribe, send me an email, check out my Instagram, Tarotscope. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week, okay? Bye!